If you're wondering how to propose to me, men out there, you should have a ring. Please do not come to propose to me with words. I will turn you down, you will not believe it. But anyway, that was Kira with the first views, and I am leading the second one, where we're going to be talking about stereotyping of women. And this is a conversation that we have been having now and again. Now, before we dive into the conversation, let's actually have a definition of what a stereotype is, and that should probably be playing on your screen right about now. Now, a stereotype is a widely accepted judgment or bias about a person or group, even though it's overly simplified and not always accurate. And there's so many stereotypes when it comes to women. I mean, so many stereotypes around us, including women can't be friends. I mean, you've heard those things of women can't be friends. And yesterday, we're actually having this conversation behind the scenes. And one of the people on our cameras was saying, is it possible for women to be friends? Can women work together? I mean, women are very emotional. Then there's a phrase that they like to say when a woman probably decides to confront a challenge head on, and they say, she's probably in her period. Oh my God, that always pisses me up. But joining me today on the panel is Kira, Sarah, and Sandra. Good morning. Oh, we greeted ourselves already.
Again.
What do you have to say about this whole thing about stereotyping women? I do not know if you've heard of some of these phrases where people throw at you and you're like, she's just being a woman. Women are not logical. They're very irrational. There are all these sort of things. Women cannot do math. Women can't be engineers. And it's just so overwhelming. Even before we get into the videos and the comments, just a brief from each one of you.
I think that it is there, like it has happened to me my whole life and my sisters. And I think it crops from the home that you were raised, or the society in which, not necessarily your home, it might not happen in your home, but the society in which you live in, and you're told as a woman that you shouldn't be like too ambitious, or you should act a certain way, and you should be soft. You should not be assertive, because that is not for a woman to be assertive. When we are assertive, we are told we are coming on too strong. And this is in different facets of our lives. If it is in the workplace, we are told that we are irrational and emotional. If it is in the dating pool, we are told that we are desperate if we are assertive as women. But if a man does the same thing, for example, in the dating pool, they'll say, oh, that man knows what he wants. He wants that woman. You know, in the workplace, they wouldn't say he's irrational, emotional. They would say he's a go-getter. Yeah.
So for us, it's a
yes, he's
different
ambitious.
story.
Yeah. So that happens to us, to most women, our whole lives. And I think it's deeply rooted. We shouldn't look at like at the workplaces and this, and track back to how we're raised in the societies and the norms and the gender norms, and values that are imposed upon us. Yeah, that's what I think.
Sarah, when it comes to your stereotyping of women, what do you have to say about that particular issue?
Well, first of all, stereotypes are relative. Some have facts and basis to them. Others are just because somebody did not like a woman for the way that she approached them. But some of the stereotypes where they say it's hard for women to work together in harmony or be genuinely friends, I definitely do believe that. Like for real. No,
very
like
true.
on the real though, I don't think there are very few instances where you find women actually supporting women, and that is why we actually now have campaigns around the world where girls are supporting girls and women are supporting women. We are actually coming out to deliberately tell one another that the next woman, you are strong as the next woman next to you, because the whole world is already against us, so we cannot be divided. You understand? We cannot be divided. So yes, I do believe that it's really difficult for women to work together in harmony and genuinely like each other, And yes, we truly are emotional beings. We are most of the times very irrational. There are many things that can tick us off, and there's a lot of factors involved that can, you know, tip our emotions off the scale, from us being hormonal, from, you know, for many reasons. We could be pregnant, we could be,
but should
that
be reason enough for us to be downplayed? Because yes, you're saying we're emotional, so many things can tick us off, but it's as though you're saying, okay, so that's understandable, but should that be reason as to why we're treated less in society?
No, it's a fact that sometimes we let our emotions get in the way or cloud our judgment. It's a fact. I'm not going to deny it. Everybody has had a bad day just because, say, they're hormonal due to one reason or the other. You can tell when a woman is off her game completely, whether it is, you know, something biological, whether it is something to do with family or personal relationships. You can tell when she's off, and we are really bad at hiding our feelings. Or, you know, we really are, and that is fact. It's the truth. We are all women here, and we know that for a fact. And that is a stereotype. I don't even think it's a stereotype. That is a fact. But we can encourage each other to be aware of such instances when they happen, when you know that something is, you know, off. Acknowledge it, confront it head front, and even go as far as telling the person, you know what, today is not the day, leave me alone. I need a moment. And I think we need to start being open about our feelings. But I will agree with you that some people do weaponize that against us instead of being understanding. You understand? I have been in instances where my previous employers have used that against me. When you call out your supervisor or your boss on something that is not right, and then they're like, it must be that time of the month.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Or maybe they dated and it ended wrongly, and she's now catching feelings.
Or they like to weaponize our emotions against us, because, and I feel like, and I believe that, number one, that is very cowardly of you to do that, to weaponize that. How my body is built against me. It's very cowardly of you, and it is also just, it's very wrong. Because I was about to say a word that I shouldn't say on air, but it's very wrong.
Anyway, I like the fact that, I mean, before we even tackle the aspect of how we can break this cycle, I, for one, I like the fact that this morning show, which is Sunrise at Sea, is only full of the ladies. Clearly, we are changing the face of stereotyping women, because the stereotype of women cannot work together. Here we are. But first, let's take a look at that video on TikTok that has been making trends from the boss wives.
Teach girls to shrink themselves, to make themselves smaller. We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much. You should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Otherwise, you will threaten the man. Because I am female, I'm expected to aspire to marriage. I'm expected to make my life choices, always keeping in mind that marriage is the most important. But why do we teach girls to aspire to marriage and we don't teach boys the same? We raise girls to see each other as competitors, not for jobs or for accomplishments, which I think can be a good thing, but for the attention of men. We teach girls that they cannot be sexual beings in the way that boys are. Feminist, a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
That video rubs me off in the very wrong way. I do not like the fact that these are aspects that actually society believes, and even the opposite sex believes, and actually some women do believe some of these things. But ladies, how can we break this cycle? And I'll start with you, Kira.
Well, just like Sandra hinted on earlier, yeah, she said background or what we're being exposed to, yeah. So I think sometime last week we did talk about, actually Sarah did talk about a kid who had a kitchen set. Yes, a boy who actually had a kitchen set, and it made rounds on Twitter. So to answer your question, one, I think we need to let kids be kids. You get it? If a kid grows up playing with kitchen set, maybe it's because he sees mom in the kitchen all the time, or daddy making something for mummy, you know. Or if a kid wants to be in a truck business or wants to drive trucks, maybe it's because she's grown up in a neighborhood whereby all this is actually happening. So one, it's what to expose kids to.
But now we're looking at the stereotyping in women. Specifically, yes, that aspect.
Yes, how what to expose our kids to plays a hand. you know, what we tell our kids, you know. If, for instance, you're a boy and you've grown up in a family of so many girls, yeah, what your mother tells you is what you grow up knowing, that, yeah, women are like this, or men are like this. So yes, what we tell kids, yeah, matters so much. What we expose the kids to matters so much. That's what I can say.
How about you, Sandra? How can we break this cycle?
I think we should be deliberate. Yeah, I think
The
we should
women?
be, yes, as the women and even the men, at starting from our homes, we should be deliberate on how we raise our daughters. Yeah, we should be very deliberate. Do not brainwash them or indoctrinate them with ideas like you can't be an engineer or you're being too emotional. Yes, as Sarah said, we are emotional beings, but let's teach our girls how to deal with that emotion, yeah, and not take it as a bad thing, so that when it's weaponized against us, we can speak up, you know?
Yeah.
We can speak up about it. So we should be very deliberate with our girls and how we raise them, and not divide. I know gender roles is such a thing, especially in a home setting, but I think it causes a lot of problems, yeah? I'm a mother of boys, but I don't tell them, oh, you can't cook, get out of the kitchen. No, yeah? I don't have girls, but growing up as a girl, my dad would tell me to read books. That's all he told me. Like, if he found me in the kitchen, I'd be like, what are you doing in the kitchen? Go and read a book. Every time he'd say me, go and read a book.
In
Your
my
expression.
perspective, it would be quite different, because if we're looking at breaking the cycle, it starts with us. It starts with you and me.
Yes.
Are you supporting your fellow friend who is a lady? Are you encouraging them? Do not be mean with your compliments. Do not be happy when a fellow woman succeeds. I mean, go out of your way to make sure that you're pushing a lady that is next to you, which is very important. For me, I, for one, I choose to be intentional when it comes to my fellow ladies. I choose to support with everything I've got in myself.
But you see, Shivan, this crops up from growing up. As women, we are told that, whereas as boys, they're told to be ambitious, yeah? You have to do this, you have to be the provider, you have to do this. But women, subconsciously, we are taught how to be good wives, yeah? How to get a good suitor, yeah? So when we are competing, that crops up later on in life. When we are competing, we compete for things like attention for men. We don't have like very healthy competitions. Like if we both want a promotion and we're like, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to work to healthy competition, what men actually have in workplaces and one. But for us women, it's because this is deeply ingrained in us growing up, that then we have all this animosity towards each other. Subconsciously.
Okay. Well, time is not our best ally right now, and would want to have this conversation on and on and on. But for me, a word of advice to my ladies, to my queens out there this Friday as you get into the weekend: do not let anybody's stereotype define you. You are better than that. You can do so much more. Your gender doesn't matter. It has no hold on you. And that winds up the conversation that we had today on Our Views. Feel free to be a part of this conversation by going to @CTV Uganda, #CTV Sunrise. The ladies and myself would love to hear from you. Good morning. It's been such an amazing time here on Sunrise at Sea. But before we do say goodbye, I would like to give the ladies to give a few closing remarks, of course, in relation to the last conversation we had, but also wishing you a happy weekend as we dive right into the festive season. And I'll start with Kira, that has been the one just joined us this morning.
Well, based on what we've actually talked about, that's like everyone hinted, we all need to be supportive of each other. Let's have healthy competitions, you know, let's not have toxic competition, yeah? I'm not saying you shouldn't go for something, go for it, but in a healthy way. Well, if you want to follow me on my social media platforms, it's Kira Natozo, and that's on Twitter and Instagram. However, Merry Christmas, and should I say Happy New Year?
No,
well, Merry
not
Christmas.
How about you, Sarah, my fashionista? I love to call Sarah my fashionista.
I mean, look
She's
at those
like,
boots.
Yeah, the boots. I don't know if
Trust
the
the
camera
boots,
is
Sarah,
able to
trust
see
the
them,
boots.
but it's a hit for me. Hit or miss, it's a hit for me.
It's a hit.
Okay, Sarah, the floor is yours.
I'll be posting pictures on my social media handle. on Facebook and Twitter. Follow me at ApolloSarah1. But I would just like to say this in regard to stereotyping. Just give everybody a chance. Do not let your biases or anybody else's opinion judge or structure your opinion towards somebody else. Just get to know them, you know, give them a shot. If they say women are always emotional, how about you give us a chance, okay? Give us a chance.
And finally, Sandra.
I would actually like to hint on the conversation we had before about the proposal and everything. I think most people focus on the proposal and not the marriage. So think it through, you know. The proposal is one day, the wedding is one day, the marriage is forever. So think it through. You can follow me on my social media pages, Sandra_Cope, that is COPE 20202020, and on Instagram, Sassy, that's SASSY_Sandy, SANDY11.
And if you want to follow me, you can go on my Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever it is, and that is Shivan Auma 90, and you'll be able to have a conversation with me. But behind the scenes, thank you so much. You have been a great team, and we want to say we wish you a lovely weekend. Thank you for being a part of us right from Monday up to Friday. Have a beautiful weekend from my team and the ladies. Don't blink, and goodbye.